Hello and welcome to the video. Today, we will be going through the history of all the operators in SCR, including the abandoned ones like Tramlink, Metro and High Speed. Some information may become outdated in the future, but I will try to update it by pinning a comment with the latest information. Anyway, let's start with Connect. Stepford Connect opened on the 25th of November 2017. It was the first line ever opened in SCR and only used the Class 700 units between Stepford Town, now Stepford Central, to Port Benton and Airport Central. New trains were introduced on Connect 4 days later, including the Class 333 and Class 321 to run on the new route to Winstree. In December, Waterline opened as a subsidiary of Connect as shown.
Stepford Connect trains had 3 trains including the Class 357, Class 387 and Class 350.
The Class 700 units were also given a Christmas livery. To celebrate Christmas, and the Class 185 was introduced to the operator. The Class 387 was later replaced by the Class 377, and on Christmas Day, the Class 720 units were introduced to Connect. On the 1st of January 2018, the Class 170 came to Connect, and then in April, the big update was released in SCR. This is known as version 1.0, and meant that for Connect all the Class 700 units would be replaced by the Class 707. Winstree would be demolished and replaced by Leeton. Stepford Road and the services to Leeton would extend one stop to Leeton City. Later that year, Class 380 units were brought onto Connect, and on the 31st of December, services to Berryley, Morganstown, Edgemead, and Stepford Victoria were introduced, with the Class 68 being added to Connect's fleet. In April 2019, services to Stepford US include Waterline as a subsidiary, and was passed to Transport for Stepford. As part of this new franchise, later that month, Charlie_RBX made a poll asking players to choose the next and final extension to the game. The players voted for the Waterline extension past James Street. This brings us up to today. Now we know what the history of the first 2 operators, Connect and Waterline, we can move on to the next one. This one is the history of Airlink.
In December 2017, Class 345 used to test on the Airlink services.
On the 31st December 2018, Airlink was introduced to the public with different routes from Stepford Central to Airport Central, with the Class 185 and 802 as their rolling stock. In January 2019, 2 new trains were introduced. These were the Class 332 and 360. Airport Terminals 1, 2, and 3 opened for service in February. In May, Airlink received their first next-generation train, which were the upgraded Class 185s. At this time, Airlink received a new logo and livery for their trains. In September, the Class 755 units were introduced trains. This time, Airlink received a new logo and livery for their trains. In September, the Class 755 units were introduced, as well as 2 new routes from Leeton Stepford Road to the airport. This was to commemorate SCR hitting 5 million visits. On the 18th of March 2020, Stepford Central was updated to include a lounge for Airlink passengers in first class. On the 21st of August, Airlink received its second rebrand with a new logo and liveries for their trains. The Class 802 was the first train to show off a new livery with a higher speed limit of 125 miles per hour.
That's it for the video. Please subscribe. Goodbye.